What's going on, guys? It's your boy Doug, and I wanted to change the scenery up a little bit on you, Today I'm going to bring you a new segment that I call Linkshare. What Linkshare is going to be moving forward is me providing you 4 more different links to apps, widgets, tools, gadgets, tech, whatever that I like, that I want to put you up on. Today's first link share is going to be about marriage and parenting collaboration tools. So let's get into it.
You know we headed to the top.
Brittney and I use a couple of different apps and gadgets on our day-to-day to help us in collaborating on marriage and parenting Zoe. A few of these you may already be familiar with, and then a few of them may be new to you. So let's get into the first one. The first one is an easy one. It's Google Calendar, Brittney and I had a Google Calendar, a shared calendar, way before we even got married. It would help us to collaborate on events that's coming up that we wanted to go to either together or separately, so that way we know what's going on and we didn't double book each other. As we got into planning our wedding, it was very helpful, so that way we know when we had to go to what tasting. And now that we have Zoe, it helps us out even more to let us know when Zoe has a doctor appointment coming up, when and where we need to show up. And we have this rule, if it's not in the calendar, then it's not real. So hey babe, I'm about to go to Rocky Mountain Pizza and hang out with the fellas. You good?
You don't remember we got my great aunt's birthday? Her 85th. Like, what you mean?
What you mean? I don't see that in the calendar.
Yes, it is in the calendar.
Yeah, nah, it's not in the calendar. So you already know the rules. If it's not in the calendar, it's not real. So holla at you.
So babe, I told you that's in Augusta, right? Road trip! Zoe! Road trip!
Google Calendar is free and it's simple as signing up for a Gmail account. It's 2018, so if you're not familiar with Google or Gmail, then it's time to step your tech game up, One of the top reasons marriages end in divorce happens to be finances. So it was very important for Brittney and I to make sure that we get those things in line when we became a couple. One of the tools that we use to make sure that we keep in alignment with our finances is YNAB. That's short for You Need a Budget. I actually have been using YNAB for quite some time before Brittney and I had met, and it was very helpful for me. So as we got into planning our wedding, actually, we wanted to combine our incomes, and the tool that we used was YNAB to help that. YNAB gives you an overview of all of the accounts that you have. First, your checking and savings account, but also it helps you keep in line with any debt that you have. And essentially, the rule is every dollar that you have gets assigned a role or gets assigned a budget. On YNAB's website, they have webinars that you can sign up for to help you utilize the tool a little bit more. It's taken some adjustment in budgeting together, but YNAB has definitely helped us in getting that together. We get a bird's eye view of the categories that we're spending in, which more than likely is the food, because we both are foodies, and to help us understand how much we have to spend, how much we have spent, and where we can adjust and start to cut back and put into savings and things like that. You can input your spending manually via the app or on a desktop, or you can connect your bank account to YNAB and it can do it automatically for you. YNAB is free for the first month if you use the link below, and then after that it's $7 a month. YNAB is just one of the many digital accounts that Brittney and I share login information for. There's mortgage, there's utilities, there's streaming services, there's Netflix, etc. And trying to keep up with that becomes a task. So what Brittney and I use is a password manager that helps us to get a handle on all of this. What a password manager does is it allows you to have one password to get into the password manager. Then you can have a super secure password for each of those different services. This way, your Netflix account doesn't have to be that same old password that you've been using since college. And it also allows Brittney and I to share this information amongst one another. The one that we use is Dashlane. We're also right now experimenting with 1Password. The main reason for that is because 1Password has a family plan that, number one, is cheaper. It allows 5 different people on one account for about $4.99 a month, whereas Dashlane, each person on the account has to have their own account, which comes in about $60 or $70 a year. Dashlane did say that they have a roadmap to include a family plan. However, they're not moving fast enough for Brittney and I, and so we are experimenting with 1Password. With Dashlane, Dashlane, you have your own bucket of passwords, and then you can cherry pick which accounts and which login information that you would like to share with your significant other. Whereas with 1Password, you can have one shared vault that houses all of your shared passwords, and then you still have your personal vault that houses all passwords that you want to keep to yourself. 1Password is $2.99 per month billed annually for one single account, and then it's $4.99 per month billed annually for a family account that's up to 5 people. Both of them are free for the first 30 days, so you can try it out and see if you like it. Dashlane is $4.99 per month billed annually for one account, and again, if you want you and your spouse to have one, you both have to get a separate account, so that's $4.99 times 2 per month billed annually. So it comes out to be way more expensive. However, with Dashlane, if you use the link below, you do get $20, so feel free to try that out as well. When Brittney was pregnant and when Zoe was a newborn, I became the do boy of the house. It was turn this light off, grab me this water, get me this food, etc., and sometimes this stuff would happen when I was dead asleep, so I had to figure out a way to kind of minimize that up and down. One way that I did was to introduce smart home products into the house. So the first thing that we did was to get a Nest thermostat. With the Nest thermostat, Brittney now is able to control the air in the house from the app in the phone. Nest also helps to keep the electricity bill down by turning the air conditioning on and off based on your location. So if you're home or if you're near home, it turns it on. But then when you leave, it goes into away mode and turns things either off or down based on a predetermined temperature that you set. Pro tip: if you happen to move from one location to another or from one home to another, make sure that you update your address in the app. When I moved from my apartment into Brittney's condo, my address was still my previous location, and so it would always set me as away when I was home and Brittney away when we were home. And we were trying to figure out why the heck the air was always off, and sure enough, it was because it was seeing us as being away even though we were home. So what we had to do was go into the settings and change our address to our current address. So make sure that you keep the address current to where you are. The Nest thermostat that Brittney and I have costs $249. There's also the Nest thermostat E that costs $169. What it lacks from the Nest thermostat that Brittney and I has is the ability to show you the time, temperature, and weather, and it's only compatible with 85% of weather and cooling systems. The other smart product that we introduced into the house was the Philips Hue lighting system. This allowed us to control the lighting of the house from our phones. We have one in the baby room, we have one in the bedroom, living room, and we have one extra one that we haven't really used yet. Also have the ability to control the dimness, the color temperature, and just actually change the colors altogether. So when it's time for that nighttime and mommy and daddy time, you can turn on that red light special, you know what I'm saying. The Philips Hue lighting system comes in a wide variety of flavors and pricing. There's a starter kit that costs $100. It only has one color temperature, so if you're looking to get a wide variety of color temperatures and colors in the house, you will have to cough up a little bit more money. The last thing that we use is Slack. Many of you guys may be familiar with Slack as a business communication tool, and Brittney and I both use it at our respective jobs, but we found it very useful in communicating on a day-to-day basis. What it allows us to do is to put different conversations into different channels so that way nothing is missed. What would generally happen is that throughout the day I would text her certain things, and then she would text me 5 different pictures of Zoe, pushing down the important stuff that I sent or that she sent, and then we never get that message. With Slack, now we have different channels, whether it's Zoe's channel, so that way we know things that's going on with Zoe, important channels, random channels, and a general channel. Slack also allows us to bring other family members into our Slack channels and actually say which channels they have access to and which channels they don't. So for instance, we can actually add one of Zoe's grandmothers, my mom or Brittney's mom, into Slack to help us plan certain things, whether it's our night out or visiting down in Charlotte. We can have those type of conversations within Slack. Slack is free and there actually is a paid account, but I don't see there being a need unless you're using it a heck of a lot and you're uploading a bunch of different pictures and stuff. So these are some of the tools that Brittney and I use. I'd love to hear the things that you and your spouse uses. Comment below, let me know if you have any different gadgets or tools that we may be able to pick up ourselves. It's your boy Doug. Holla at me.